Yo. Yo. This chapter of the Promised Neverland. Dang, this was an intense chapter. It was definitely intense. I will tell you that much. It was really good. Probably one of the better chapters that we have actually had in this series thus far. Just, yo, what went down in this chapter, dude? Like, it was sick. It was great. Like, oh man, I'm actually really liking the Promised Neverland, how it's, going so far when it comes to its overall story. Again, I don't really know how the story is going to be handled from here on out, by the time the kids actually escape out of the facility that they are in. But as of right now, I'm really enjoying this new series. So, what happened in this chapter of the Promised Neverland? Well, so we start off this episode where we left off in chapter 22 of the Promised Neverland, where we see Miss Crone and Isabella communicating with one another. Now, in this chapter, we actually see that Miss Crone, the letter that she opens up, is actually a recommendation letter for her to be moved over to a different plantation as the new mama of the plantation. Now, we know that Miss Crone wants to be a mama. She wanted to rat out Isabella in order for her to take the role as a mama. However, Miss Crone is put off by this because there's just definitely no way that Miss Crone would rapidly progress to become a mama in a different plantation already. She wanted to rat out Miss Isabella for what she was doing. However, she couldn't really find any evidence supporting that the children are actually trying to make their way out of the facility. So, without any background of information, Miss Crone was at a standstill. She didn't know what to do. And now, upon getting a letter from HQ signed to Miss Crone that Isabella actually gave to Miss Crone, she apparently has no other choice but to comply to the orders from the HQ. But she knows that this is a trap because there is no reason as to why Miss Isabella would want to recommend her to become, a mama in a different plantation as well. There's just no way, especially to rapidly progress in the ranks, which is what Miss Crone sought out to be, when she wanted to take out Isabella. However, just due to the circumstances that she is now in and what she has found out, she is definitely suspicious as to Isabella's actions, but she is forced to leave the plantation and is now ordered to go back to HQ, or in this case, Grandma. Grandma was apparently waiting at the front gate. The grandmother of the plantations. She was at the front gate waiting for Miss Crone to arrive. So finally actually seeing who Grandma is was kind of cool. She is basically one of the backbones that pretty much holds, this facility holding the children together. And she is in control of the mama, and she works for HQ, so, she can give out orders to any mama she chooses, or just any, other candidates that work in that facility, and she can, basically lead them on, a new path for the development of the facility. So, Miss Crone eventually arrives at the front gate with Grandma. And Grandma basically tells her, after Miss Crone tells her that, I believe that there are kids, actually trying to escape the facility. If they end up escaping, do you know what it's going to do to the plantation and our facility as a whole? But the grandmother says, isn't this handled already? If there is no problems, if there is no evidence behind what you are telling me right now, then it must be handled, well. There is just no way that this could happen. With Isabella at that plantation, there is no way it could happen. It's already handled. As long as things are under control from Miss Isabella, and she is producing, the greatest plantation that she can possibly, produce, in, this facility, then there is no problems whatsoever. If, I was able to do in the past, Miss Isabella, which is basically carrying on my will, so to speak, can do it right now. She has the role of producing the best plantation, the children, to the demons, so to speak. So right here is where we see the corruption sort of side within the facility, as we know that HQ will actually, seek out to, use deception in order to take out other, candidates and employers, in this facility that are carrying under different plantations for the children to feed to the demons. And we see that Grandma, or HQ, is working with Miss Isabella, and Grandma also tells her that I do not need you. You cannot replace Miss Isabella. She is my pawn, and I need her to produce the best possible, population, for the demons. And she will go down as the best producer in plantation history, so to speak. But you, Miss Crone, you do not have any skills whatsoever that can even replace Miss Isabella. And then at that moment given in time, Miss Crone doesn't know what to do whatsoever, and we eventually see out this demon hand reach out to Miss Crone. So Miss Crone actually died in this chapter of the Promised Neverland, which is pretty crazy. It really is. Now, before she ended up dying by the demons, I think it was before Miss Isabella actually gave the letter to Miss Crone, or maybe it was after Miss Crone, got the letter from Isabella, and as she was packing, she ended up slipping something underneath or in, a drawer for the kids to find out who are escaping. So I guess, it was either before, she ended up getting the letter, or either after she got the letter before she went out, to go to the front gate to meet Grandma. So as she was packing her bags, I guess, since the fact that she didn't have any evidence as to how, the kids were actually going to go about, going over the wall and escaping this prison that they are in, she ended up slipping a pen in a drawer in their room. Now, Miss Crone actually picks up this pen in the backstory that we actually see from her. Well, not really a backstory. It was mainly just kind of like some panels from her past, so to speak, as to, how it was basically a dog-eat-dog world. You have to live, or you have to survive in order to live, so to speak. And she tried to keep, as much distance away as she could, from actually getting, eaten. But we see her eventually pick up a pen. And it actually has the initials WM. William Minerva. The kids found, William Minerva's works in the library. So this pen holds a secret. I don't know what it is, but this pen holds a secret. All, really the sort of info that we really got about regarding this pen is that it's, from William Minerva, but also it has the initials B06-32. So there is something related to the facility that, is related to these numbers and letters. And it has to be some type of coordinates to actually, find something in, the facility that they are at. So this will most likely help, the kids, once they discover it in the drawer, they'll be like, whoa, where did this come from, so to speak? And they will try their very best in order to, find out the coordinations to, what is on this pen. We don't know what the letters are. I don't know if it is, it has to lead to something. If it's not a serum, it definitely is coordinates for, something in that facility that they are going to have to find that, will give us more answers regarding William Minerva's works. As, of right now, we only know from the past chapters ago, going back to William Minerva's works, we know that the kids found his stuff in a library, and we know that he uses Morse code and hieroglyphics in order for others to pick up the pieces of the puzzle and put them together, so to speak, if they want to know the truth about this facility that they are at. But we know that William Minerva, knows about this facility, pretty much to a T, okay? He is maybe even the creator of this facility. We don't really know. There is, a whole bunch of stuff regarding his work. And we do know that, he uses Morse code and hieroglyphics, and it's basically coordinates that lead to either a saying or something. And from the coordinates on this pen, whether it, it leads to a serum or some other form of, what is, in the facility, maybe it leads to an underground basement. Maybe that's even the coordinates to where the demons are at. I have no idea. So we really don't know what is in this pen at this given moment in time, but we will find out in the coming chapters of the Promised Neverland. I'm just going off of pure speculation right now. But yeah, the chapter basically ends with Miss Crone dying and her saying the final words to the kids who are planning to escape. She's like, "You will be the ones to shatter this world and bring about a new for others, for other generations to come. You will expose this place for what it truly is, and you will carry on in the next world. I want you to run and live." Like, true words spoken by Miss Crone right there. True ass words right there. I really liked Miss Crone's, demeanor. I really did, because she was like some sort of freak, and she's kind of what made, the manga somehow horrifying next to the demons, because, she was actually a human, so she was technically the only human-like monster that we know. Anyone can actually be a hidden monster within this, manga series. Isabella is quite questionable as well as to how she is actually conspirating with, HQ, and what exactly her tie-ins with HQ is, for. Like, what exactly is going down with there? How much does she know, and, just why? Why is headquarters specifically working for, or why is Isabella specifically working for HQ, and why does HQ want to cooperate with Isabella in the first place? Why is she so special, besides, creating, an abundance of, good food for the demons, so to speak? So, we don't know, but that was an amazing chapter of The Promised Neverland. Like, as I said before, probably one of the better ones that we have gotten in this series so far. It was fun. It was fun, and I'm very curious as to where this series is going to go from here on out, because we only have 6 days left until the kids make their escape. So things are getting juicy in this story of The Promised Neverland. Really liking it so far. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below on what you thought about this chapter of The Promised Neverland. What did you think about Miss Crone's death? What do you think that pen's coordinates lead to? Just let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Give this video a like if you enjoyed it, and hit that red subscribe button down below, and you will never miss a video from me. That about does it for this video, guys. Love you all. I'll catch you all in the next one. Thanks for watching.